welcome to my craft space. Throughout the next couple of weeks, I am going to be walking you through all of the parts of my craft space. Now, originally I had intended on making this into one big long video, but I know that a lot of you out there are working on organizing your own craft space, and so you would like to know some tips and tricks and how people organize different parts of their craft room. So I've decided to break up my craft space videos into 4 or 5 parts so that you can see how I organize my embellishments and my papers and my stamp sets, and how I also shoot my videos and teach classes and work a business as a maker in my 9x9 space. Everything in my craft space is either repurposed, found, or handmade by my husband. I do find a lot of items in craft shops or boutique shops, flea markets, garage sales, even in the trash, and they have been repurposed in my craft space. This week, I am going to be sharing my desk space with you. Not only am I going to show you the place where I create, I am also going to share how I work in this space as a maker, how I shoot videos in my workspace, and how I teach classes on my desktop. So let's go ahead and get started with part 1 in my creative workspace, my desktop area. So here we are walking into my craft space. I have a nice glass panel door that my husband created for me, and we're just going to do a quick pan around the room. This originally was a bedroom, so you're going to see a closet. You're going to see a nice great big window that lets in a lot of light. It is just a 9x9 space. We used to have 3 boys that bunked in this bedroom, and now that they've all moved away, it is my craft space. So today we're going to go ahead and take a look at this desktop. This desk was created by my husband. He made it to my specifications, and it matches a lot of other items within my home and in my craft room. When my husband asked me how large the desk needed to be, I sat down in this empty room and I placed tape all along the floor, and I laid down my craft mats and my computer and all of my items because I wanted to make sure everything would fit. So we're going to start at the place where I start my day. This is usually at my computer. I check my calendar, I check my email, I do all of my work right here. Now I do have a little touch light here over to the right. This provides soft light. It's nice when I don't want to turn on the overhead light, but it gives me just a little bit of light while I'm on my computer. I also have a coffee mug warmer. Sometimes I put a candle on there. I also have all the paper patterns in my collection hanging above, just in case I need a little bit of inspiration. Each of these are labeled with the same themes that my patterned paper boxes have. On these hooks, you're also going to see my embossing folder samples, the samples of all of the cardstock colors I own. This comes in handy when I'm planning. These little cardstock sample packs are available to consultants, and I often send them out to my VIPs. These little layout planning cards are my own design. After I've printed my photos, I can put all of my ideas and inspiration down on a card, pop them in with the photo, and then later on when I go to create a layout, I have everything down on paper. To the left of my computer are current catalogs, some idea books, some current magazines that I have some inspiration from, some little how-to books, and a magazine file holder. I also have all of my scrapbook and cards today lesson plans and my Cricut classroom lesson plans, my art journal, which is something that I added after taking a free art class, my tablet, and a prompt journal that's for gratitude and prayer. Since I use a laptop, I do like to keep the screen up a little bit higher so I'm not cranking my neck when I'm working on it. I just have it on this little stand that turns 360. It also has a little phone holder on the side. I don't use it very often. This does fold up flat, which makes it great for travel. Above my desk are some pretty file folders. In these, I keep my color wheel, some labels, and some other little printables or items that I need nearby while I'm working. Above that is my card inspiration board. I don't have a picture of it. You did see it when I panned through the room. On this, I have cards that people have sent me and cards that I have made that I just want to hold on to for a little while. Off to the left, there is my Workspace Wonder, and I'm going to show you that here in a little bit. That's more for my crafting. To the right of my computer, I have some crafting items and other business items that I use. I have an ink tower, I have some business supplies, I also have my planner and my swatch cards there. Let's go ahead and start with this wooden holder that's to the right of my desk. In the top little bin, I keep cards that I send to people. These are cards that I have made and I plan on sending them out soon. Under that, I have a little bloom banner. This is something that I made when I got to present for Close to My Heart Extravaganza. In the second bin, I have some treats for me and some treats for my dog and a nice little candle. You probably saw my little fur baby at the beginning of the video. She's always in my craft space. Below that, I have some electronic items. I have this little barn board with the hooks. It has a lot of my little charging or connection cords, and each one has been labeled. This is a little piece that my husband made for me, and then it's just stuck up there with command hooks. I also have this little coffee mug that has some items I use while I'm filming, and my camera. Next to that, I have some random office supply items. So we're going to go ahead and take a close-up look at some of the items that I have in here and how all of this came together. You can see I have some pens and I have some stamps. I also have what I call my inspiration book. I do like to get printed magazines. I also have quite a few magazines from the past. And I actually tear out pieces that inspire me and I stick them inside this book. So whenever I need a little bit of inspiration, I don't go to Pinterest. I actually go to my little inspiration book. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this little office supply piece that I made. These components all came from Michael's Craft Store. They are all magnetic metal pieces. You can see the tiny little magnets there that stick to each other. The back piece actually looks like an envelope. It's meant to hang up on your wall, but once I added all of the other pieces, it is freestanding. You can see I have two little half cup holders here with pens in them. And then I have a little center piece where I have some stamps and other items. I couldn't find an office supply holder that would work on my desk, so I ended up just making my own. And this just sits over here on my desk within my reach as I'm working. Above that, I have some ribbon holders. These are close to my heart and they are stuck to my wall using some command hooks. I also have another holder that has some shimmer trim. I'll go into more detail about my ribbon holders when I do my video on embellishments. On this side of my desk, I also have my rotating ink tower. This is a close to my heart item. And on top of that, I have some Tim Holtz jars where I keep some different office supplies in. And then there's some little clips above where I can put some photos on. I just change out those photos occasionally. On the front of this rotating ink stand is a sign. Now this I made using my Cricut. I taught how to make it in my Cricut classroom. And the sign is just connected there with some Velcro command hooks. So I can actually change out that sign during the holidays if I want to. On top of my ink stand, I have a couple of plants. I also have a little bottle of hand sanitizer and some lip gloss just in case I end up going live last minute. That is everything on the top of my desk at my workstation. Now, below this, over to the right, I have some more things. My husband made me this wonderful little pull-out for my Cricut. All I need to do is pull it out and I can use my machine and then it tucks right below my desk. Underneath the Cricut is a bin of my paper scraps and some drawers of current projects I'm working on. I also have my little scrap and easel tucked over there on the side. Now, these little components here are going to be replaced soon with a printer and another pull out. That is one of my future plans. Underneath my desk, you're also going to see my little pup in her bed that my husband made to match my desk. And we're also going to see a mess of electronics. It's actually not too bad. It doesn't have too much in it, but my husband designed this so that I had two places to plug things in while I was doing lives and videos. And I'm going to talk about that later on in this video. I'll show you how I set all of that up. So now we're going to take a look at where I actually create. You're going to see that I have a lamp set up there. I have my little Tim Holtz glass mat, and I also have a trash can, which is necessary in a craft room. So we're going to take an up-close look at this space, starting with this lamp. This is an LED lamp with quite a few moving parts and elbows, which makes it really nice while I'm creating or doing videos. I also have a phone holder. I have my tape that I use a lot of. In this little suitcase, I have little odds and ends that are left over from projects. And then, like I said earlier, I have my Workspace Wonder over off to the right. So I do have a video explaining my Workspace Wonder a little bit more, but I'm going to go ahead and go into it once again in this video. This is a modular system. So you literally just get all of the parts and pieces that you are going to use and need, and you just put it together however you want. Everything here is right here at my fingertips. I have my papers, I have my markers, I have colored pencils and watercolor pencils and shimmer brushes and scissors and tools. Everything is right there where I need it. And I can rearrange it as I add or take away items from my craft desk. Now, if you take a look at this is like a little tool component. So there's things that are actually in the back. On this one, I wanted to show you, I don't know how well you can see it, but my scissors actually are inside floral foam. I was having difficulty with them falling over, so I just tucked some floral foam in there, and then my scissors pop right into some little holes, and it makes it a lot nicer. I keep all of my Post-it tape here. I keep all of my current papers that I use for my blog, and then of course you can see I have a lot of different tools in there, and I can rearrange it. Actually, I just recently rearranged it, so in the next video, it's going to look a little bit different. I do like keeping current papers from the catalog in here so that I can grab them as I'm creating for my blog. There's also a couple sets of headphones here, and then I also like to hide things underneath all of these little trays. So these trays pull up. You can see I have a lot of items in there. Underneath there, I keep blade refills or things that might be a little bit dangerous when little kids come and craft in my craft room. There's also like some little secretive things I keep in there. As you can see, I keep a lot of items in all these little trays. I also keep all of my stamping blocks here and my stamping cleaner. You can see, I mean, literally this thing is packed full of everything that I'm going to need while I create. So then as we pan across to the other side, you're going to see more items that I keep at my fingertips. This is just a little spinner. I believe I actually found it at Hobby Lobby. And I keep even more items that I need to grab right here. So you saw my little jar with tweezers. I keep a tape measure in this little bin. I also have my artistry scrapers, my Cricut scrapers, my vinyl scrapers. I have all of my foam and shaker window items, some glue dots, my pencil sharpener. This is full of different Cricut blades that I use. And then of course I have some foam tape. Everything is right here, so I can just grab it while I'm creating or teaching classes. In front of my desk, I have all of my papers. I have some embellishments. I keep a lot of my mixed media items and odd craft items. We're going to talk about all of these in some of my later videos. Above that Workspace Wonder are some beautiful shelves that my husband made. These are even more embellishments that I keep. Because the room is so small, I do keep a lot of stuff up on the walls, and we're going to talk about these items later on. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like while I'm teaching classes. So here I have my setup while I'm teaching my Cricut Classroom classes. I have this lovely ring light with a phone holder that can be lifted up and down. It can be moved as high or as low as I need it. I can also adjust the lighting as needed. I like having the ability to adjust the light because the light that comes through the window changes throughout the day. I use the phone holder to watch the chats. As you can see, the OBS software I use does not allow me to see any questions or conversation going on. So by having my phone up above, I'm able to see any questions that people post. Now, I do suggest that you have some way to charge your phone while you're teaching live classes. More often than not, I have lost power to my phone. So I always have a little battery charging bank right next to my computer while I teach classes. Now, this is what it looks like while I'm teaching in my Cricut Classroom. I also have this lovely little octopus holder that I sometimes use when I'm teaching other classes. It holds both my tablet and my phone. I do like to use this when I'm on Craft Roulette. This comes in handy for me to have my phone for a face camera. I'm able to use the tablet to read people's chat while I'm playing the game. And then we have the wonderful light that I can shine on my face or shine on my project. I can easily move my phone over to the phone mount there. And that way people can see my project down below. This is what it looks like while I'm teaching some live classes on Facebook or while I'm participating on Craft Roulette. So underneath my desk, we talked about the little charging station that my husband set up. All of those components need a place to plug in. So this section of my desk also has a bank of outlets. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like while I'm making videos like this for you guys. This is what it looks like at my crafting station. This is the view that you see. I do have a vinyl photo background below my workspace because the dark area of my workspace doesn't show up very well on camera. So I like to have a lighter grain of wood underneath the project that I'm working on. I also have quite a bit of light around my project. The more light I have, the more details that show up on my project during my video. I also have a makeshift phone mount that I created. I just use my Samsung phone for shooting video. Other creators like to use an actual camera. And as you can see, there's even more light over there on the right side. These lights are adjustable. They sit on a tripod and they raise up to about 4.5 feet. So I can set them down on the floor if needed for uplighting. Now you're probably wondering where all of this stuff goes when I need to use my craft desk. In my closet, I have a little wire bin. Inside there, I keep my lights, my ring lights, my camera holder, and all kinds of other items that I need while I'm shooting video. I've designed it so that everything that I use for videos and teaching can easily be torn down and stored away. Now, those photo mats are actually mounted onto some poster board. My husband and my son cut these down and mounted them onto the poster board, and then they tuck right behind my little bins of craft supplies here on the other side of the room. All I have to do is pull out the color of wood grain that I need for a video or a photo shoot, and then these can easily be tucked away once I'm done. Now I just realized that I forgot to show you the stamp organization baskets above those ribbon holders. I have some baskets where I keep all of my stamps, and then you can also see there's some little decorations up there, and I have a little Bluetooth speaker and radio. We're going to talk about stamp organization in another video, so I'm not going to really go over that. You're also going to see that card inspiration frame that I talked about earlier, and then just another look at the craft desk from a couple of different angles. You can see that there's a lot of workspace area that I have available. There's a lot of open space around it, and I really love how well my husband put all of this together for me. He even designed it that if we ever move, it can easily be taken apart and moved to the new home. Now, next week, we're going to be talking about my Cricut workstation. This is where I keep all of my Cricut supplies, another Cricut machine, and all of my idea books. So we're going to take a look at this station next week, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I organize my die cuts, my idea books, and my Cricut craft supplies. Here are just a few more shots of my desktop craft space that we talked about today. I am going to put a little write-up on my blog. I will put the link to that and all of the items that I showed you today in the description below. I will be adding more craft room videos in the upcoming weeks, so make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you are notified when I add a new video to this channel. While you're at it, go ahead and click on any one of those collection icons so that you can see what I am currently working on. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.